What's going on, IP family? I am your host, Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks, patents, copyrights, trade secrets. And today we have a dispute between the old school and the new school. Lamar Jackson representing the new school and Troy Aikman representing the old school on the trademark for the number 8. So today's question is, who wore it better? Don't just go for Troy Aikman because you're the OG, and just don't go for Lamar Jackson because you are part of the new school. But let's kind of look at it, and we're going to read the article from Sports Illustrated. We're going to check out the trademarks, and I want you to let me know in the comment section who is right, who is wrong, who is most likely to come out victorious in this situation. So the whole standard of trademark law is the likelihood of confusion. Would you look at a mark and get confused, thinking that's associated with another mark that, again, may be similar, but is it confusingly similar? So just because the mark is similar, that's okay. But if it's confusingly similar, such that you would think that, okay, you'll look at this one mark and think it's associated with another company, then that means it rises to the level of confusingly similar, and then it's essentially trademark infringement. So again, Lamar Jackson. Let's actually pull up the article here. We'll go through the article. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content. Trying to bring you guys not only some education or some entertainment, but also education. And this stuff is valuable. You see this, all the time, or not even necessarily all the time, but you see in the background where these athletes, these entertainers have a ton of trademarks. We'll look at the trademarks for both Troy Aikman and Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson has over 20 trademarks that he has filed on, and Troy Aikman has over 30 trademarks. So again, this intellectual property is valuable, and these athletes, entertainers are making a ton of money. So let's go into the article here by Sports Illustrated. Ravens, Lamar Jackson in a trademark dispute with Cowboys legend. So let's quickly go through the article. It's a short article, so we'll get you guys out here. But again, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section who is probably going to come out victorious. Do you agree with Troy Aikman? Do you agree with Lamar Jackson? And then it seems like Troy Aikman recently, he recently made a Twitter post on this one. So we'll go check out the Twitter post, see what Troy Aikman, what's his thoughts on this issue in real time. So this will be interesting. We'll save that to the end here, but let's get back to the article. Baltimore's Ravens superstar Lamar Jackson is set to face off with Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman. Just not in a way anyone expected. According to ESPN and the trademark attorney, Jackson is challenging Aikman's use of the shared number 8 in a USPTO complaint. In a July 9th filing, Jackson attorney claims that Aikman's attempt to use 8 on an apparel is likely to cause confusion or cause mistake or deceive customers when buying products from their companies. So let me break this down in a little bit. This is actually not a lawsuit that Troy Aikman and his company is so they're not suing Lamar Jackson company, or Lamar Jackson's company is not suing Troy Aikman company. So Lamar Jackson actually has a few trademarks. The two trademarks at issue is Have You 8 and Era 8, ERA 8. Era 8 and Have You 8. Those are the two trademarks that Lamar Jackson is essentially disputing and saying that, hey, if you guys issue Troy Aikman's trademark, and Troy Aikman has filed a number of trademarks, but one specifically on the letter 8. So it's 8, but it's spelled out EIGHT. So he has filed a trademark on the letter 8, and Lamar Jackson has filed trademarks on Have You 8 yet and Era 8. So Lamar Jackson is saying, hey, USPTO, if you guys actually issue allow Troy Aikman trademark to issue on the number 8 spelled out, then it's going to cause a likelihood of confusion. In other words, our customers who are looking for my apparel of our Era 8 or Have You 8 yet, they're trying to buy my apparel. If they essentially look at Troy Aikman's apparel on the essentially the word 8, they're going to get confused essentially and think that that's associated with essentially my brand and what I'm doing over here. So you guys shouldn't let shouldn't issue or let Troy Aikman his trademark application issue into an actual trademark, because it's going to cause confusion. Hopefully you guys are picking up when I put it down, because this is not an actual lawsuit. Now Lamar Jackson is filing against Troy Aikman. This is before a trademark actually issues. The USPTO allows people to come oppose that trademark, and they publish Troy Aikman's trademark on the word 8 spelled out, and Lamar Jackson him and his attorneys are saying, hold on, this is confusingly similar. Let's oppose the trademark to stop it from being issued. So that's essentially where we are right now. And to be honest with you, as an attorney dealing with trademarks, intellectual property attorney, Troy Aikman, he waited too late. He definitely waited too late on this, man. Troy Aikman has been around for years. He was extremely popular in the 90s, winning Super Bowls and things like that. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. He should have filed these trademarks a long time ago, at least on a number 8, on the word 8, because that was his number. Obviously, Lamar Jackson has 8. Troy Aikman has 8. What they say, Troy Aikman wore it first. He should have been filed a trademark, but again, he waited until after Lamar Jackson filed his trademark. So Lamar Jackson actually is in line ahead of Troy Aikman. So that's why, essentially Lamar Jackson has essentially rights at this point to his trademark because he filed his trademark applications first. And again, as an intellectual property attorney, Troy Aikman waited way too late. He should have been filed these trademarks on 8. Obviously, he's been around for a long time, way longer than Lamar Jackson. He could have avoided this whole situation if he would have been filed it. But let's get back to the article, try to finish this thing up here. Let's see. Okay, the appeals state that Jackson has expended considerable time, effort, expense in promoting, advertising, and popularizing the number 8 in connection with his personality and fame, and is well known by this number due to his notoriety and fame, along with his promotion. Okay, so it seems like he's saying that, hey, man, he essentially, he made it more popular. He made it popular by essentially his fame, expending a lot of money, time, effort, promoting it. Essentially, Jackson filed 2 appeals against. So essentially, he's trying to stop trademark or Troy Aikman's trademark application from being issued into a trademark. So that's what this is saying here. Jackson filed 2 appeals against FL 101. So FL 101 is Troy Aikman's company who owns the trademark. So essentially, Troy Aikman owns a trademark by way of his company. So a company that lists Aikman as, that's what it's essentially saying. Aikman is one of the directors of, essentially one of the owners of the company. The company owns 9 trademarks for the use of 8 on various products. So again, this is the trademark application that Troy Aikman has filed. 8, the letters 8 spelled out, and he's when you file a trademark with the applicant with the USPTO, you have to let them know what class you're going to be using it on. There's no one size fits all. It's like you're not going to file a trademark application to get it protected for everything under the sun. If you're selling apparel, you have to file in an apparel class. If you are selling beach towels, you have to file it in a beach towel class. If you're using it for entertainment, you have to file it in an entertainment class, that protection. And it seems like, according to this article here, he has filed the trademarks in various products or classes, including beer and beach towels. And again, it seems like those classes that are using an 8 for beer and beach towels, Lamar Jackson is not necessarily, he's not tripping on that. He's not concerned about that. So Jackson 27 has applied for trademarks on multiple uses of the number, including but not limited to Era 8 by Lamar Jackson and UHF. So those are at least 2 applications that Lamar Jackson has filed for the number 8. So again, Troy Aikman has filed just the word 8 spelled out, and that's his trademark application. And as you can see here, Lamar Jackson has filed a phrase, Era 8 by Lamar Jackson and UHF. So just right there, if Troy Aikman has filed for the word 8, a trademark application on the word 8, and Lamar Jackson has filed for a trademark application on Era 8 and UHF, do you think that that's a likelihood of confusion? I think his argument's both ways, but as an IP attorney, I think that if you came across a shirt or a brand that had just the number 8, I don't think you would get that confused with Era 8 or UHF, which are trademark applications that Lamar Jackson has filed. That's just me as an IP attorney. Let me know if you agree with that. Let me know if you're saying, no, hey, Dave, you wrong about that. I think that I would get confused if I saw a branding with a shirt, for example, or a duffel bag that has 8 on it. I would get confused with Lamar Jackson's trademark applications on Era 8 or UHF. So is it likelihood of confusion? I kind of don't think so. I see the arguments for and against, but I think that Troy Aikman, he has a good argument on this one. That's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Let's finish up this thing. Jackson 27 has applied for trademarks on multiple uses of the number, including but not limited to Era 8. UHS attorney will register before. Again, this is true. At least the trademark applications were filed. They were filed before Aikman's, and that products from the latter companies are highly similar in sound, appearance, connotation, and commercial impression. So that's essentially kind of what is being argued. Let me actually go to the trademarks because I want to show you guys this stuff, not just let's see here. Is that Lamar Jackson's let me see. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna look at Lamar Jackson's trademarks first. And so this is it. Let me know if hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So, and again, like I said, Lamar Jackson has a ton of trademarks, which is showing you how valuable this stuff is. If you're to the left here, is live trademarks, so registered or pending. He has 20 trademarks. Again, this guy, if you see registered here, that means it's actually a registered trademark. If you see pending, that means it's not yet registered. It's just pending in before the USPTO. But again, this guy has a trademark on his name, Lamar Jackson. A lot of you guys didn't think that you can get a trademark on your name. This is the Era 8 right here. In this Era 8, he has, I told you about the classes. He has it for backpacks, duffel bags, carry-on bags. That's class 18. Then he also has it for clothing, which is class 25, hoodies, jackets, sweatshirts, pants, T-shirts, things like that. And you can see it's still pending. Who's the owner? Lamar Jackson. Now, if I was Lamar, I would tell him to get it in the company name for a layer of protection. But it's cool. We can see clearly that Lamar Jackson owns these trademarks. Era 8 is one of the trademarks for clothing and duffel bags that, interestingly enough, this is actually still pending. So it's not issued, it's still pending, but this was filed before the word 8 from Troy Aikman. Let's go down to the other one. You see a lot of these other trademarks that's owned by Lamar Jackson. That's not necessarily, this is the Era 8 by Lamar Jackson that we saw in the article, again, for duffel bags and clothing. And again, that's still pending, but that's another one that Lamar Jackson is saying people would think is confusingly similar with the 8 that is was filed by Troy Aikman. This is the UHF for clothing here. Clothing, I think he had one for duffel bags as well. You see the UHF for restaurant services were issued. Again, that's what I'm saying. You have to let the USPTO know what class that you're, or how you're going to be using your goods or services. And it seems like the UHF for restaurant services, so maybe be on the lookout. He may be opening a restaurant here soon that's called UHF, but it looks like that has registered into a trademark. This is still pending as well, UHF. It actually seems like he just has to file essentially a specimen on this one to get this allowed. But let's go to, so that's essentially Lamar Jackson, his kind of trademark application repertoire. Let's go to your boy Troy Aikman. So Troy Aikman has, he has a fair amount of trademarks as well. His owner, FL101, as you can see, the owner, which again, he owns at least a piece of this company. He has 37 registered or pending trademarks. A lot of it seems like it's light beer made right. So it's, surrounding beer. He has the cheers to the chase, but this is the trademark. 8. This one is actually not at issue because it's dealing with printed calendars and poster stickers, so forth and so on. Even a beach towel one with the word 8 that he's trying to trademark is not necessarily an issue as well, according to Lamar Jackson. But if you keep coming down here, you see class 25 clothing, T-shirts, tank tops, long sleeve shirts. That is an issue which Lamar Jackson and his attorney has filed in opposition to. And then what else? So like I said here, the 8, but this is for beer. Lamar Jackson doesn't have an issue that actually registered into a trademark. Let's see, do we have another one? 8. And this is another one, class 18, which we saw Lamar Jackson filed for trademark applications for UHED and what was the other trademark Lamar Jackson had? UHED and Era 8. That was both of those were filed by Lamar Jackson for not only clothing, which is class 25, but all-purpose, athletic bags, beach, carry-on bags, things like that, which is class 18. So Lamar Jackson has effectively opposed Troy Aikman trademark for the word 8, as you see here, for bags as well as clothing, which is class 25 that you see right here. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think that Lamar Jackson is going to come out victorious? Do you think that Troy Aikman has a claim? Again, the whole standard is likelihood of confusion. Would you look at that word 8 on a bag, on some clothing that's sold by Troy Aikman and get confused and think that it's somehow confusingly similar with Lamar Jackson's U8 yet, as well as Era 8 trademarks? So again, that's the whole thing. In my opinion, Lamar Jackson did what he had to do in terms of opposing these marks, but I think Troy Aikman he has a good chance. But you still have to argue, you still have to try. Let me know if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me. Before we finish out here, let's see what Troy Aikman, because he recently he recently put out on Twitter what he thinks about this issue, and let's see what he thinks about it. So Troy Aikman, this was July 19th. So just yesterday, what did he say? Hey, Lamar, looks like a worthy conversation over a couple of 8 beers. So he's making a joke out of it. Maybe Steve Young can arbitrate it. For those of you who don't know, Steve Young, legendary quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, also had number 8. So he's throwing some jokes in here. And again, you see the ESPN article, Jackson disputes Aikman trademark bid for the number 8. So, hey, Troy Aikman is, hey, he's making light of the conversation or the issue. He seems like he's not that pressed about it. He's saying, Lamar Jackson, hey, man, come through. Let's have a couple beers, a couple 8 beers, because as you saw, he has the word 8 trademark for beers. So he has some 8 beers as well. So seems like he's making light of it, making a joke out of it and saying, hey, Lamar Jackson, let's have a couple 8 beers, which are my beers. And Steve Young, he maybe can arbitrate and kind of essentially rule on the situation. We all know that if that was to happen, Steve Young probably has more allegiance to Troy Aikman, given the fact that he also played back in the day in those 90s. But let me know what you think about it, who you think will win or is going to come out victorious, Lamar Jackson, Troy Aikman. This is interesting stuff. As you can say, both of them have, a nice war chest of trademarks, or at least trademark applications that they have filed. Some have been issued, some are still pending, but this stuff is valuable. Please hit the like button if you like this type of content. Hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate you doing that. And turn on the notifications to get more of these type of essentially videos that I'm doing, just trying to, again, not only just adding some entertainment, but also adding some value. I want you guys to go out, take this information, apply it, have patents, trademarks, copyrights, and essentially make money. That's what these guys are doing. Troy Aikman is doing well off into his career or his retirement from football, and I would imagine that Lamar Jackson is going to do the same. He's capitalizing while he's playing, but I'm assuming that Lamar Jackson will do a similar thing, capitalizing and monetizing off his trademarks way off until retirement. So let me know what you guys think about it. I'll see you next time. Peace.